Hello everyone, I'm Emma Scher from the recruitment team of Acasus, and this is the new episode of the Acasus podcast. Today we are going to talk about the largest team at Acasus, which has almost doubled in size over the past year. Please welcome the project director of our team in Pakistan, Hunain Mandvia.
Hi everyone.
Hunain, if we start at the very beginning of your journey with Acasus, what is your story of joining us in 2021?
Yeah, thanks for that, Amisha. I first learned about Acasus in the spring of 2021. And my first impression was that this was an organization trying to do impactful work in hard places. I had always wanted to work on impactful projects in Pakistan. Even when I left in 2016, I knew I wanted to come back. So it was not really a question of whether I would come back, but only a question of when. And so when the recruitment team reached out in the summer of 2021 with an opportunity to lead a large project in Pakistan, I was quite intrigued. And what stood out most for me was that the team in Pakistan was so young, and almost all of them had attended LUMS, one of the top universities in the country. I also knew of a few people at Acasus. Particularly, I knew Ahmed Razak, I knew Akbar and Tehniyat, also from my time at LUMS. And the fact that they were all in leadership positions at Acasus gave me more confidence in my decision to join. And after a few conversations, I eventually took the leap, moved several continents with my wife and son, and joined Acasus in Pakistan in the fall of 2021. And on my first day at Acasus, I met Dr. Yasmeen Rashid, the health minister of Punjab at the time, which was quite a surreal experience. Meeting a senior political leader of her stature was something I could only dream of before Acasus. And I remember this clearly. On my second day, I met the entire Pakistan team for a full day of team training. And what I learned was, all of our colleagues were very smart, humble, and driven. I could not have asked for a better team, and obviously feel incredibly lucky to be here.
What a journey. Thank you so much, Hunain, for sharing. In Pakistan, Acasus has its largest team at the moment, with around 85 colleagues working in the 4 main provinces of Pakistan. Can you give us an idea of how you work as a team?
Yeah, sure. Our teams are primarily based in the provincial and federal capital. So, we have teams in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Peshawar, and Quetta. We also have a small team of implementation associates based in a few districts of KP and Balochistan. In general, our colleagues would start out as associates, and they would work on individual work streams or specific areas of work. For example, one of our associates would work on improving the availability of essential medicines at health facilities. And while that may seem conceptually simple, there are hundreds of small implementation steps that need to be completed. And our associates would then work with the district and provincial managers to help them complete each step of that process. This is obviously just one example, and several others. Our associates do other pieces of work as well. And once our colleagues have mastered the associate toolkit, they would become senior associates and start managing more than one work stream, and would also coach 1 to 2 associates. And after that, our colleagues would take the project manager role, where they would typically be responsible for leading our work in a particular province. However, as we grow in size and complexity, we are thinking about structuring our project teams thematically within a particular province. So this is something that, as a firm, we're always thinking about. And then our senior project managers and project directors will typically lead the work across multiple projects and provinces, and also work closely with our funders, partners, and senior government stakeholders.
Thank you, Hunain. Since you are leading the team's efforts, tell us also about the types of projects the team is currently working on.
Yeah, thanks for that question. I think the team in Pakistan is working on several exciting projects in the country. We are undertaking a large effort in partnership with Gavi and the government of Pakistan to sustainably improve routine immunization in the country and protect millions of children from life-threatening diseases. I think a lot of people who might be listening may know this, but between 2014 and 2018, Acasus supported the Punjab government with help from DFID, now FCDO, to achieve unprecedented improvements in its health system. The government of Punjab achieved perhaps one of the fastest increases in immunization coverage ever recorded and substantially improved the percentage of women delivering safely. We are now working with the governments of Sindh and Balochistan to deploy a similar approach to improving primary care outcomes with support from the Gates Foundation. Additionally, we're also working with the foundation to support the governments of AP and Balochistan in polio eradication efforts. And our most recent project is helping the government of Pakistan apply for and eventually roll out the HPV vaccine, which will help protect millions of women and girls against cervical cancer.
Thank you so much, Hunain. So amazing to hear. Many of us are also curious about the future of Acasus in Pakistan. Could you please give us a glimpse of future projects or directions?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, it's obviously tough to predict exactly what projects we will work on. What's really clear to us is that there is no shortage of problems in Pakistan, but there's always a shortage of smart, hardworking, and humble people daring to try and solve Pakistan's problems. And that's where Acasus comes in. While we've been in Pakistan now for more than 10 years, in many ways, we are still just getting started. In many of our projects, we are working with the government on fixing the foundations of primary care, and there's a long, long way to go. Yeah, even in provinces where the government has made significant progress, there's a lot more to do. Punjab, for instance, has made significant progress in fixing their primary healthcare system. However, the government is now focusing on improving the quality of care, patient experience, and also protecting citizens against communicable diseases such as TB, hepatitis, and malaria. And we do support the government in those efforts. Taking a step back and more broadly, as we all know, something we think a lot about is malnutrition, which is a severe problem in Pakistan, with more than 12 million children stunted. And as a firm, we want to try and work with the government and partners to solve that problem. We may also have an opportunity in the not so distant future to work on improving education outcomes in Pakistan. And we're very excited about getting started there as well.
So exciting to hear. Thank you, Hunain. As my last question, I would go with one we ask at the end of every Acasus podcast episode. What is your favorite memory after working with Acasus for almost 3 years now?
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one since there are so many memorable moments. But I'd say my interactions with Dr. Azra, the health minister in Sindh, have made it to some of my favorite memories. And I feel incredibly fortunate to have witnessed a senior political leader advocate for citizens in such a powerful way. In one of our reviews with her, I think it was almost a year and a half ago, a little more than that perhaps, we showed her a picture of a donkey standing in one of the government's health facilities. This particular facility, interestingly, had reported that it was fully functional and doing deliveries regularly. And when one of our team members actually visited the health facility, we obviously learned that this facility was condemned, with clearly no services being offered, and a donkey had made that facility its new home. And I remember this vividly. When she saw that picture, she could not help but let out a chuckle, but then swiftly proceeded to take the district manager to task for allowing such blatant misreporting of data and services to happen. And in that same meeting, Dr. Azra approved the setting up of an independent monitoring unit that would regularly monitor all public health facilities in the province every 6 weeks. And that one decision has then laid the foundation for all the improvements that have happened since. It's one of my favorite memories because it just goes to show how one powerful visual presented to someone who truly cares can just change the course of the project.
Hunain, thank you so much for taking the time to tell us about the amazing work of our team in Pakistan. I hope everyone who listened was able to get a better insight into who we are, what we do, and how we do it. For more podcast episodes, please visit our Spotify channel under the name Acasus Podcast, and don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll be back soon with the next podcast episode. Stay tuned, stay safe, and take care.